Hi friends, welcome back to the vlog and Happy New Year officially. Last time I saw you guys was New Year's Eve and we got to ring in the new year together, but it is officially 2025 and I cannot believe it. Like just hearing that out loud, 2025 sounds so futuristic. It's crazy, but we made it and I have a really good feeling about this year. Last year was pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie. It was tough. Just overall felt unhappy in different aspects of my life, mostly centered on career. And I kind of shared a bit of that with you guys when I switched jobs. And I'm still not loving my new job, so it's just hard. I am setting myself up for success this year. I have so much planned already that I want to kind of clue you in on. The first one being that I registered for my first ever High Rocks race. And if you don't know what a High Rocks race is, it's basically the overall fitness competition, I think nationwide, worldwide, I don't know, but people from all over the country compete. Basically a race against yourself because well, you can compete in partners, but I'm gonna do the women's solo race. So I'm not necessarily racing against time or anything. I'm not going for a specific time. I just want to finish. I want to finish and I want to feel strong and I want to feel good about it. And I'm really excited because I've been going to the gym consistently. I've been doing what I have to do, but eventually you just get stagnant in the same routine. My phone's going off, sorry. But anyway, I just wanted something to work towards, something to train for. And I'm so excited because I'm going to be supplementing what I already do with weightlifting and HIIT workouts, but also going to be adding running into the rotation, which is kind of crazy because I've literally broken my foot multiple times because my joints are so bad. I am really not a runner, but I am gonna change that this year. I've ordered some new shoes because I want to get actual running shoes. I think that's part of the problem. And I also am just gonna start incorporating some runs into my routine, into my training. So obviously right now it's dead of winter, so cold, but the race isn't till end of May, early June, so I have plenty of time to prepare and I'm just so excited. I'm excited to hopefully take you guys along with me and just see where this journey takes me, but that's step one. That's the first update. The second update is I am currently studying to get my personal training certification. Insane. I know. I just have fallen in love with fitness and all that it comes with, and so I'm going for it. I'm gonna be studying so that I can hopefully take the test by March. Who knows? Who knows what that means? But I'm really, really excited to be going on this journey. So I'm gonna be hunkering down and really just getting into the textbooks, focusing on my studies there so that I can set myself up for just new things ahead. You know, I want new opportunities and new experiences, and why not, right? So those are just a few little things that I wanted to chat about and share, but I'm really excited for the year. I feel despite this shift in leadership, we are going to get through it, and you just have to push onward and upward. You have to keep going. You have to do what's best for you. So I'm gonna be putting myself first. I'm gonna be working hard and setting myself up for success. So anyway, I just wanted to update you guys a little bit on those few things. So yeah, this is just gonna be a chill vlog, a little first vlog of 2025. I do eventually want to share my favorite books of 2024 because a lot of you guys ask when I post on Instagram what I'm currently reading and things like that. And I want to share some recs, some of my favorite books of 2024. And I also want to share what's on my TBR for this new year and books that I'm really excited to jump into. So that'll happen later on in the vlog, but I just wanted to get us started. So yeah, I'll see you next time I pick up the camera. Hello you guys, what is up? It is Saturday, it's the weekend, thank God. I feel like this week at work just really got the best of me, so I'm very happy to be able to unwind, relax. I just realized I still have this wreath up. I did remove all the decorations pretty immediately after the new year, but I gotta get that taken care of. Anyway, today I'm about to head over to my friend's house and we're gonna be doing some vision boarding. I can't wait. This is something that I've never done this before, and I know like it became pretty popular, but I just never like sat down and actually planned out like how I wanted my year to go. What I would do in the past is just create like a note section on my phone with different goals for the year, different things I wanted to accomplish, and that would kind of serve as like my reminder. But I feel like it might be really nice to just plan everything out like with pictures and with quotes and like have it all on one board that I can see, that I can look at whenever I'm feeling down. And I know we talked about my word for the year being clarity, and I feel like with that word you have to intentionally seek out clarity. Like it's not just gonna come to you. So that's why I feel like the vision board is a nice thing to kind of help me gain clarity this year. There's just a few things in my life that I feel like I want to work towards, and this is going to help. So I'm going to show you, I have a note written down of like all the things that I want to seek clarity on. So for example, my career. You guys know I have been teaching for 9 years, and for the last few years I've been pretty unhappy. I don't know if it's with the schools that I've been working at, or if it's just that I need a break, or if it's that I'm really ready to like leave this career and try something different. So I want clarity about my career, whether it's, do I go to a different school? Do I switch careers altogether? And that's scary to me because I feel like, you know, I went to school for teaching. I studied education. Like, this is what I know. This is what I'm good at, but it's not fulfilling. So anyway, that's one thing I'm seeking clarity about. I am also seeking clarity about like my living situation. I absolutely love this apartment. I do feel like I'm outgrowing it a bit. I need more space. Even though it's just me right now living here, I do feel like it's kind of small, and I do want to move. However, the market in New York City is awful. So I haven't been able to move, but maybe this is my year. We'll see. That's something I'm seeking clarity about. I want to strengthen my relationship with God. I want to build community. I want to continue like working on myself physically, mentally. Like I want to read more books. I want to establish healthy eating habits. These are all things that I've just been thinking about and that I wrote down. So these are all things that will in some way be a part of my vision board for 2025. So anyway, I am about to head out. We're going to be making our vision boards digitally, so I'm bringing my computer along. I also have some snacks here that I'm going to take. So I'm bringing some sparkling water, carrots and hummus, and then grapes. And my friend Shani, I think, is providing like apples and almond butter. We're just going to kind of make a whole snack plate out of it. So let's go. If you guys want to make a vision board, you can do this with me right now. Just get on your computer, start Pinteresting things, type it in the search engine. If you want to go to the gym, type in gym inspo, find a picture that speaks to you and add it to your board. Let's do this. We found the perfect spot, cozy by the fireplace. It actually smells like burning coals too. They had like 3 different options, but we chose here because it had a table for the food and for our laptops, and these cozy computer chairs, or desk chairs I should say. I'm back home now and I wanted to show you guys the finished vision board. So I did all of this on Canva, and as you saw, I just kind of took pictures from Pinterest or Google Images, and I used a vision board template. You can look them up on Canva, and I just replaced the images that were on the template with my own. And this is how it turned out. I'm super proud of it. I'm really excited that I have this to look back on through the year, and all these images are reflective of everything that I shared with you earlier that I'm looking to accomplish in 2025. Okay guys, I wanted to end off this video with a cozy little chat about some of my favorite reads of 2024. I do try to share that on my Instagram whenever I pick up a new book, but I haven't been super consistent with that, so I figured it might be nice to just do a yearly roundup of all of my favorite books and then what I plan on reading in the next year, at least what's on my TBR list. I'm currently on my Goodreads, and I'm just gonna go through and mention all of the books that I rated 5 stars because I read about 33 books, I wanna say, in total this year. So I think I have about 5 or so 5-star reads, and I just wanna share those with you guys in case you're looking for something to read for the next year, if you wanna get into books. I think it's really fun, and on Goodreads you can set up reading challenges for yourself and stuff like that. Okay, I have to start off with The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I'm gonna try to insert a little picture of what the cover looks like, but this was absolutely hands down my favorite book of 2024. I almost said 2025, but it was definitely my favorite book. This is a book that I mentioned actually when I had a book club meeting over the summer, and all of the women who read it loved it just as much. So I recommend it. I think if you read it, you won't be disappointed. It's basically about a woman who's grieving a family member, and she ends up moving into the apartment of, I think it's her aunt. And her aunt's super eclectic and has always said that that apartment held some magic. So she's living her life, and all of a sudden this man appears in the apartment, and at first she's freaked out, but you basically kind of get to know their story and how they begin to fall in love. But I'm not gonna share the biggest twist of the book. I think it's just so good, and explaining it doesn't give it justice, so I really hope you guys read it. It's so good. Okay, I don't know if this one technically counts as 2024. I started it December 29th of 2023, but I finished it January 2nd, so I did read it in 2024. It was the first book of the year, actually, called Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino. Oh my gosh, the tears that were shed for this book. Oh my gosh. It's about a girl named Charlotte who's trying to find herself, and she meets this guy Adam who's seems very sure of himself. They spend a night together and it's magical, and then all of a sudden it's almost like he ghosts her, and she's trying to figure out what happened, because they really did have a connection, and then they meet up again, and it all comes out, and oh my gosh, it is just beautiful. My next 5-star rating is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I love anything by Abby Jimenez, honestly. She has a lot of 3-part series books, and you just really feel like you can relate to the characters. You fall in love with them so easily, and her books are very easy to read. This is another romance book, but also just a casual read. Some people might say it's a beach read, but it's basically about these 2 people, a guy and a girl, who they just have bad luck with dating, and anyone who they date ends up finding the love of their life immediately after they break up. So, for example, let's say the guy Justin, he dates a woman, doesn't end up working out, they break up 5 months later. The next person she dates is her soulmate. So you might say they're unlucky in love, but they decide, hey, why don't we just try to date each other? Since we know it hasn't been working out for us in the past, maybe we can reverse our luck. And they say just for the summer. So that's the premise, but like I said, I won't give away the endings on any of these books in hopes that you will read them. Okay, this book I actually rated it 4 stars just because I felt like there were a few holes in the story. However, when I think back on all the books I read over the year, this is definitely one of my favorites. It's called The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. If you guys don't know Frida, she is known for her psychological thrillers, for suspense, and her books are so good. They you don't want to put them down. I think most people know her for The Housemaid, which I've read, and I'm currently reading for the second time now because I want to read the second and third part. Initially I wasn't going to, but the more that I read Frida's books, I'm just compelled. I need more. So I did read both The Boyfriend and The Teacher this year. The Teacher was a little iffy. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of triggers in that book. But The Boyfriend was so good. The characters, the storyline, everything was really good. And if you like psychological thrillers, then you'll definitely want to read this book. So to give you a kind of brief overview of what the book is about, this girl, Sydney, she is not having good luck with dating. She's on the apps. She's like looking for the one. And she finally like meets this guy. She has a really good date with him and she's feeling good about it. All of a sudden, this woman ends up killed. This woman in her building ends up murdered. And it's actually a friend of hers, and they're trying to figure out like who did it. Things get crazy. Let's just say that. Okay, let's switch gears completely. This book by Jeanette McCurdy, I think it was her autobiography. Yeah, it was like a story of her life, her upbringing, her childhood, all of that, and how she became famous pretty much. It's called I'm Glad My Mom Died. Wow. I mean, you have to like breathe a few times during the story because what she went through is intense. But the writing, I mean, the way she talks about everything that she went through, you just want to keep reading. You want to know more. I mean, you really like feel for her. It was such a good book. I remember I would like go to work and on my lunch breaks, I was reading the book because I just like couldn't put it down. And I'm not usually one for like an autobiography. I like reading stories. I like not thinking about like the real world or real life, but this one was incredible. Highly recommend. Another one, Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. A lot of romance books. It's funny because I read a lot of these romance books in the beginning of the year, and then towards the end of the year I really got into more thriller, mysterious kind of books. But Love and Other Words was a beautiful story about two people who love books and end up falling in love, and it kind of takes you through when they were children and growing up and how they became friends and got to know each other, and then it brings you to the present day and like their story, and something happened in between where like they became cut off from each other. So it just kind of explores that dynamic of like love but also loss and everything in between. Very good. Another book, Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I'm sure many of you have heard about it. I think it's probably famous on like Book Talk or whatnot. This is just about a man named Archer who doesn't speak. Everyone in the town basically like isolates him and casts him away. He lives by himself, and then this woman comes to the town and they start to get to know each other, and you find out about his story, which is heartbreaking, like devastatingly beautiful. So another book that I rated 5 stars. All right, so that is it for my favorites of 2025. I also have a few other like Abby Jimenez books, like Yours Truly, but I already mentioned her, and just read all of them. But I wanted to talk about the books that I really want to read this year, starting with All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I've heard so many good things. This, I'm just going to kind of make a list. I also want to read The Midnight Library. My sister has that book. She's going to let me borrow it, so I'm so excited. I've got Funny Story by Emily Henry on my list. I have not been a fan of Emily Henry, I'm sorry to say. Most of her books I've rated like 2 or 3 stars because they're very challenging for me to get through, but I've heard really good things about this one, so I'm going to give her one last chance. I also want to read The Coworker. That's another Frida McFadden book. She's also coming out with another book in May, so gotta get on that one too. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera is also on my list. The Book of Lost Names by Kristen Harmel. I have a few Kristen Hanna books on my list as well. Winter Garden, The Nightingale, and I'll try to include any others that I may have missed here as well. But let me know what you guys are reading this year or what you have read and you loved. Please leave a comment, because this year my goal is to read even more books. I'm aiming for 50 this year, and I think it's actually going to be possible. Basically 1 book a week. So if you're also on your journey, let's do it together. We can hold each other accountable. I just feel like if we set our intentions and keep all the things that we want for ourselves in mind this year, what can hold us back? What can stop us? So as we're nearing mid-January now, I want to remind you of all the goals or intentions that you set for yourself at the beginning of the month. I think we tend to forget about them come June, July, and you know, it all goes out the window, but that's the beauty of having a whole year. But I literally already made my vision board, my screensaver on my desktop, so it's something that I see every day. And majority of the things that I put on it are things that are tangible, things that I am able to achieve. So I feel like it's gonna be a good year. I'm wishing you guys all the best in 2025, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.